Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, guys, especially if you enjoyed this video and if you're new to the channel, because I really do appreciate that. I wanted to talk about this Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury fight a little bit because that's the fight that we really want to see next. Well, we really want to see it next, but it's not going to happen next, But that's the fight that is basically in everybody's radar. Now, that's a big fight, especially for heavyweight boxing, because the winner, unless they strip Anthony Joshua from like one of his titles because they try and fight. Let's say they try to make the unification fight with Tyson Fury, and then they strip him of like one of his belts because he's supposed to defend it against like Alexander Usyk. But if he doesn't, if they don't strip him, hopefully they don't, then this is a big deal fight because it would be for undisputed, right? So the winner of this fight would have all the major belts at heavyweight. It's also a big deal because this is the first time, I think, in the history of heavyweight division that the two best heavyweights on the planet are both from the UK, right? We've had UK heavyweights obviously fight each other in the past, many times, but we've never had like two reigning champions fighting each other. Like when Lennox Lewis fought, what's his name? Oh my God, Frank Bruno. That was a big fight in the UK, but first of all, Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis, Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis were not in the level of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. They were not in the level of what they are right now. Because I don't think Frank Bruno was a champion. And Lennox Lewis at the time, he was like a prospect, really, right? When it comes to these two, Anthony Joshua has three out of the four major belts, and Tyson Fury has a major belt, and he was a former unified heavyweight champion. So this is like a way bigger deal than something like Frank Bruno versus Lennox Lewis, right? I don't think we've ever had that, right? We've never had two UK heavyweight champions fighting each other. So this is obviously a big deal when it comes to that, right? Because it's for the historical purposes, right? When you see this fight, you could be like, wow, I saw the two best British heavyweights on the planet fighting each other, and the winner became undisputed, right? Obviously, this fight should happen in the UK because it's between two British guys, and I would think the UK boxing fans would be pissed off if they don't fight in the UK. I mean, that would just be like a terrible move if these guys did not fight in the UK. So, if I was from the UK, I would be annoyed if they didn't fight in the UK. So, I would imagine they're going to fight in the UK. Maybe in the rematch, they'll fight somewhere else. But in the first fight, they're probably going to fight in the UK. And the rematch, they'll probably fight if they have a second fight in Saudi Arabia because they're probably going to offer them a lot of money. But this is a fight that needs to happen in the UK, right? And a big stadium with that could hold like a massive capacity stadium, like 90,000 fans, right? It'll probably break all records in the UK when it comes to pay-per-view numbers. That fight will probably break all records. Now, obviously, a lot of people, you have Tyson Fury fans, Anthony Joshua fans. Some of them think Tyson Fury wins. Some of them think Anthony Joshua wins. Some of them think Anthony Joshua will knock out Fury. Some Fury fans think Fury will do the same thing he did to Wilder to Anthony Joshua. One thing I will say is styles make fights. Obviously, Anthony Joshua is not Deontay Wilder. He has a lot more in his tools. He doesn't just depend on one punch. He can fight on the inside. He throws really good uppercuts on the inside. The thing I'm looking forward in this fight is how these two approach the fight. Joshua has showed that he could fight coming forward, but he has also showed that he could use his legs. Fury is typically a guy that is a counterpuncher, right? He tends to like to play the chess match against his opponents, and he tends to do very good by playing the chess match and just being able to just outbox his opponents. But like he didn't, but against Wilder in his last fight, he came forward and he was aggressive, and he showed Fury showed in his last fight against Wilder that he could walk a guy down. He could come forward, but not just come forward recklessly. It wasn't like he was just marching forward and just trying to walk down Deontay Wilder. He was coming forward behind a really good left jab. And if you notice, he always was anticipating whenever Wilder would throw that right hand. Whenever Wilder would throw that right hand, you would see Fury literally duck his head under. So he was always aware of that right hand coming. It wasn't like he was just marching forward and just willing to take right hands, because some fighters do that. The pressure fighters, they just come forward and then they get their head. You see their head being rocked every round because they're constantly being hit because they're not moving their head. But not Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury comes forward, but he moves his head. So he was able to duck Deontay Wilder's right hand. Obviously, when it comes to, but remember when it was against somebody like Wilder, Wilder is very predictable because he's going to throw the right hand. So Fury knew immediately, okay, I know I have to dodge the right hand. I know that. When it comes to Anthony Joshua, I do think it's going to be a little bit trickier because Joshua is going to be throwing different combinations. So I wonder how Fury would approach the Joshua fight, because if he chooses to, I personally think that Fury would have a good chance on beating Joshua if he boxes Anthony Joshua. I think the way to beat Anthony Joshua is to box him. And when it comes to Anthony Joshua, I think the way he has to beat Fury is he has to walk him down. I've always felt that the way to beat Tyson Fury is to walk him down. You have to bring the pressure to Tyson Fury and stop him like that. That's what I believe. I don't think there's any heavyweight out there that has the boxing skills to compete with somebody like Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury is hands down one of the best boxers in the heavyweight division. I think he's an elite boxer. And when it comes to his boxing skills, I think he's better than most heavyweights out there. Especially his size. He's very... It's rare, normally when you see guys like Tyson Fury, 6'9", 270 pounds, they're normally slow, right? They're normally as slow as molasses. You could see every punch coming from a mile away. They don't have the leg speed. They're slow as hell. And they gas out quick. But Tyson Fury is he's like this very genetic freak because he's this big guy. He's 6'9", he's 270 pounds, but he doesn't move slow. You don't see him moving slow. He's fast on his feet. He's fast with his combinations. He's witty. Another thing is most guys his size are normally really bad defensively because they don't have that, type of a savvy upper body movement. But Tyson Fury has that upper body movement. That's why he's very different. He's a big guy, but he has a really good upper body movement. He's really good defensively. He's really good with his hand speed and his leg work, and he has the ability to change his style. When it comes to Anthony Joshua showed me in his last fight that it's not all about muscle, right? I remember telling myself he needs to lose muscle because it's making him stiff. He lost the muscle in his Andy Ruiz rematch, and he looked really smooth in there. He was fighting on the back foot. He was using his leg work. He showed me that he could outbox a dude if he needed to, right? So the question in this fight is how do both of these guys approach this fight? Does Tyson Fury try and walk down Anthony Joshua the way he walked down Deontay Wilder? Or does he try to box Anthony Joshua? And now if I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm not going to try to outbox Tyson Fury. Like I told you, I think Tyson Fury is one of the best boxers in the heavyweight division. I think if I'm Anthony Joshua, I think I'm going to be trying to walk him down. So I think Joshua needs to fight the way he normally fights against someone like Tyson Fury and try to walk him down, right? The cool thing about Tyson Fury is he also has the ability to fight on the inside. But the difference between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder does not know how to fight on the inside good. Anthony Joshua is better at fighting on the inside than Deontay Wilder. And Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, is more physically stronger than somebody like Deontay. Deontay Wilder comes across as a very flimsy type of dude. Like the way Tyson Fury was able to just lift him up and just throw him against the ropes, he was like a rag doll. Like Tyson Fury was just ragdolling Deontay Wilder. Like to me, Deontay Wilder, like up close, like when he's fighting in the pocket, when somebody's in his grill fighting him in the pocket, he just comes across as very flimsy and very weak. Like he's like a guy you could tell that because he's so light, because he's only like 225 pounds, 230 pounds, he's very weak when it comes to fighting on the inside. So that's why I think guys could just easily maul maul him down and just rough him up and manhandle him. I think it will be a different story if it was, let's say, Anthony Joshua in there. I think Joshua is physically stronger than someone like Deontay Wilder. I definitely think that he's a better inside fighter. You know, I saw him nearly decapitate Vladimir Klitschko when he was fighting him on the inside. He threw an uppercut that looked like it nearly decapitated him. So he's clearly better at fighting on the inside, in my opinion. But that's something I'm interested in. How is Tyson Fury going to approach this fight? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Tyson Fury should come forward and maul Anthony Joshua the way he did against Deontay Wilder? Do you guys think that would be a smart move? Or do you guys think, like me, that he should more likely try to outbox Anthony Joshua? I think he would have more success like that, because I think if he does come in the inside against Joshua, I think he will give Joshua an opportunity to land on him. And when it comes to Joshua, I think that Joshua has to apply the pressure. I think Joshua has to go to Tyson Fury's body. I think Joshua has to impose himself. I think that's how you wear down a guy like Fury, is by imposing your size on him. Wilder is a guy that always just depended on one punch, so he never developed like other aspects to his game. So like I wasn't surprised when Wilder was just didn't know what to do. Like Wilder looked like he didn't know what to do in there, because once his right hand failed, he didn't know what to do. But I think somebody like Joshua needs to rough house somebody like Tyson Fury. I don't want them to be passive. I think if you see both Joshua and Tyson Fury in the center of the ring and like being cautious, like trying to feel each other out, I don't think that's a good thing, because at least for somebody like Joshua, because that means that Fury is fighting at his pace, and that means that Fury's probably winning. Because when you're in a boxing match with Tyson Fury, he's gonna win 9 times out of 10. Like he's gonna win, because he's, like I said, he's a superior boxer to most heavyweights out there. I think he's one of the best. He might just be the best boxer in the heavyweight division. He might just be, especially for his size. Fury's like the full package. I think that I think that both of these guys can hurt each other, especially Tyson Fury, now that he's sitting on his punches, because he was marching forward against Deontay Wilder. You saw a lot, like he was able to showcase his punching power. I said prior to Tyson Fury fighting Deontay Wilder in the rematch, I said that if he's gonna hurt Deontay Wilder or knock him out, he has to be coming on the front foot. He has to be coming forward, because that's how you knock dudes out. So I think that he could definitely hurt Anthony Joshua if he came forward. You know, Tyson Fury is very accurate, but at the same time, I also think that Joshua could also catch Tyson Fury if he gets close. Although Tyson Fury is really good at evading punches, like you see him in the corner sometimes. If he's like pinned against the corner, he's moving all over the place. But if you look at when if you look at when Otto Wallen fought Tyson Fury, he was applying the pressure, and that was like a really, like, Otto Wallen did a better job than Deontay Wilder did, because Otto Wallen was better at applying the pressure. He brought a better game plan than Deontay Wilder. So I think that Anthony Joshua needs to apply the pressure. Anyway, these are just some of my thoughts on this fight. Let me know what you guys think of this fight, and what do you guys think like these two have to do to win against each other? Let me know in the comment section below of this video. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I'm out. Bye. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, man.